أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Um, Thank you everyone for joining. I hope everybody can hear me clear. Can somebody message me or something? Assalamualaikum, Mufti Sahab, Mufti Mustahab. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum, Sheikh Mufti Umar Sahab. Can you hear me? Assalamualaikum, Sheikh Sahab. Can you hear me? Am I audible to you?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Am I audible clearly? Please.
Okay, I'm having difficulty listening to you. All right, I'll let Salum to chime in. Salum, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you, but I think automatically participants, we do not have right to our mics. So I hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll open up the mic inshallah on the QA. You are absolutely right. But thank you very much. Jazakallah. All right, so I'll just start. We'll let Mufti Sahab fix his mic. So today's week two is a follow-up of our last week webinar where we were hitting the understanding of digital asset tokenization. And last week we kind of discussed what is the landscape, why should I even care about it, what is the potential look like. We discussed a couple of use cases as well. Today we're going to talk about the Sharia principle for digital assets, meaning that what are the Sharia principles applied on digital assets. We kind of know what is Sharia principle for traditional assets, like if I am going to a Islamic bank or a non-Islamic bank financial institution, or I do invest into some um, Sharia compliant stock. I understand there are Sharia compliance around it. There is a IP regulation around it, or IFSB, Islamic Financial Service Board. Malaysia regulations are around it. But what if I am dealing with the token, meaning that the same house or the same car or the same sukuk, when we are going to tokenize it, we are going to issue token against those assets. What are the rules? And then we will also discuss some common misconception or ambiguity around it. So today we'll be very Sharia focused on it, and inshallah, once I'm done with the presentation, I will just give a 10 to 15 minutes time round up for the question answer with Mufti Sahab, Mufti Umar, Dr. Umar Rafiq, and then we take the question answers. Um, so all in all, in this summary, in this quick presentation, we'll be talking about the three same core probation we have, and what are the two layers that decides about that digital asset being compliant or not compliant, and the answer. And most of the people will know the answer. The answer was there 1400 years back, right? Since our Prophet ﷺ started Riyasat Medina and all that, all the Islamic transaction started. The same core concept applies on digital assets. There is no change. Um, so when we do a digital asset, right? We have, just like any product structuring will do in Islamic finance, whether Musharka, Murabaha, Mudarba, whatever product we do, we don't start coming to a digital asset platform like Mabrook and start coding it, start issuing token. No. First, what we do is that we take the Sharia screening of the asset as per the Fiqh Mamulat and IOP standard. We apply, hold on, there is somebody else. Yeah. We apply the same concept, right? As per the IOP Sharia ruling. Once we have the contract or product structure finalized, then only we go to the platform and then we tokenize the asset. So what does it mean that okay, the asset which is brought for the tokenization, is it compliant with Sharia? Is there any interest component in it? Is there any exposure to haram activity of that asset? For example, if we are doing a resort tokenization, right, a resort in Bali or elsewhere, right? We check their balance sheet. We see that, oh, they have a revenue which is coming from alcohol. What is the actual exposure of the revenue of that alcohol? If there is any interest component, whether they in the past they have gone to the conventional bank and taken the interest loan for their operations and whatnot. We look into it just like any product structure we will look. Once this Sharia is clean, reviewed, approved, fatwa is issued, Sharia give us direction, yes, go ahead, tokenize it. Then after those underlying asset scrutiny, we go and we do the transfer, right? And this is not only the assessment Sharia will do. If you see the right box here, Sharia, of course, do the product structuring with us. They approve it. They look into the underlying asset, but they also look into the possession and transfer of those tokens. If those tokens really have uh, um, the ownership, right, for the investor who have bought this token, or it is a synthetic platform only transaction, meaning that when I buy that token form of that resort, then is it really my name is on the title of that hotel? Is that is happening? If that is happening, what is the update time? Is it like happening immediately, or it is taking like forever to do so? And then of course Sharia does the ongoing going governance, including the Sharia audit and whatnot. Okay. Um, So this presentation will be circulated to you. Of course, the two-layer of test from the Sharia would be to start with is the structure valid? Does it follow the Ijara Musharka or whatever structure they choose? Got it. Chief Mufti Umar, is your audio working? I got a feedback. Can you unmute and then confirm? Just one more time. Chief Mufti Umar, can you hear me? All right. I'll send him a message to look into his mic and move on. And of course, the red line requirements will be, uh, what is the Sharia ruling in terms of what component should not be there. And I'm just talking about the basic fundamentals, and I'll let Chief of Teamer to basically continue guiding us in depth. But the for a layman like me and anybody out there who's doing tokenization, they need to understand that there should be no riba or interest component. There should be no uncertainty. The contract should be very clean. There should be no speculation, right? The price should be real. So if we are doing that halal resort again, then what is the net asset value, the valuation of that resort? Is it done by a third party? Is it benchmarked with some fair market pricing and all that, right? Or it's just like, okay, let me create a synthetic price and then I'll create like a speculative tokenization of it. I'll let people buy it and then the price drop and all that, the volatility, just like in cryptocurrency, right? Um, and of course, the underlying asset we discuss about. And what make it valid is that, of course, it has to be a real asset, not a paper-based transaction. Uh, if it is a gold tokenization, then I should have the real gold somewhere lying in the vault. The contract should be valid with a recognized Islamic structure. There should be a P&L profit loss risk sharing, a genuine one. So if we so both party either win, meaning the investor of that resort and the owner of the resort, or the both party lose, right? And the real transfer of ownership, as I mentioned. Um, of course, in Mabrook we have Sharia supervisory board, and then they continue doing what we discuss. Um, I'm not sure if somebody from the team is there. I want to do a quick poll, and the poll is all about like, what do you think about what is the uh, common misconception about the Islamic tokenization? Is it like if it is on blockchain, is it halal? If it is on the blockchain or just like cryptocurrency, there is some problem there. Tokenization and cryptocurrency are same or not? If an asset is asset backed, it's automatically compliant. Really? Like if my resort or hotel resort does not have any interest component, then it means that I can just simply go ahead and tokenize, bypass Sharia? Of course, no. A halal label means like uh, the scholar has already approved. There's a misconception. What I've seen in the market somewhere, and I don't want to name, but most of the company I've seen that people see and then they say see the halal label and then they say that yeah, that's fine, I'm happy, I see halal label, but it's our responsibility to go and argue. So those were the contact. I think the team is not on the bridge right now, so I cannot run the script. I just continue. The miss and conversion, right? What is the myth? What is the confusion? Blockchain makes it haram. No, blockchain is just a ledger, right? So we write things just like we write it in a database, traditional database. So of course, the blockchain itself is not haram. Um, of course, there are a couple of blockchain companies who have their own token or cryptocurrency. That is something different, right? But primarily using blockchain as an infrastructure, that's not haram. We can use it. For example, Mabrook is Ethereum compliant, so we can use the Ethereum as infrastructure. But we don't deal with Ethereum currency trading per se. Tokenization is just a crypto? No. It's a token to represent a real asset, and that's our responsibility to ask, like, how, where, is it, what is the Sharia ruling on it? Can you show me those evidence, right? All those should be on the platform. Asset back, just having asset back means halal? No. The asset must be lawful. The contract should be also validated. What is the, if I'm bringing an asset of a resort which is completely halal, there is no alcohol interest component in it. But what is the structuring? IEP structuring around it, right? And is my rights there? Am I really possessing the ownership? So those should be there. Let me just see. I see little shaky noise behind the screen. Sorry, guys. Okay, so right now. So in a nutshell, we will classify the contract. We will kind of screen the underlying asset. We'll verify whether there is a real ownership of those issuers who are tokenizing, and then once it's tokenized, we'll make sure that the token holders have the uh, kind of a possession, and we have to have a proof around it. Governance on the right side is if you see governance is not a label. I cannot just put in a governance thing in my website and say that everything is governed. We have to prove it on the processes that we deal with the token issuer or the owner of the project as well the investor and of course the back office as well. So the Sharia supervisory board should be on every process. They should be part of it. They should be having a heat map. They should have a proper Sharia governance layer to monitor the asset. Not only just screen it and tokenize it and let it go. The platform or the team should be providing enough information to the Sharia supervisory board or the Sharia control officer to look into the tokenization activity, to continue reporting the balance sheet, having meetings with the issuer if required and all that. And of course, there's a periodic Sharia audit that has to be done, not just one time sign off and then done. No, the entire life cycle of that digital asset, we need to have a continuous Sharia audit. So if you see, and you might be thinking, we all know this. Why Fahad is emphasizing it on digital? It's just same as a traditional finance. Yes, of course. That's the whole point of it. The misconception happens when I'm talking to a couple of folks that, yeah, token is on the blockchain and maybe it's related to cryptocurrency. No. The moment you see the structuring is there, the continuous monitoring supervisory surveillance is there, and it is asset backed and the ownership is absolute, then of course it's a Sharia compliant, right? So with that, I will now stop the quick presentation. I'll do one more audio check with the Dr. Muslimer. Check, can you hear us? All right.
Yes, I can clearly hear you.
Um, so inshallah, let's start with the Q&A. And I will start with the first question, inshallah. Sheikh, any feedback on this presentation that you feel that you need to correct me, or is there anything? Because I kept the presentation very high level just to set the stage. But anything you want to chime in or correct or something, please feel free to do so.
Yes, I think it was very summarized. So I think if the people have some questions regarding that, we can take these questions as well. And it was all okay till now. Alhamdulillah.
Exactly. So, Sheikh, my first question from you is that is the fact that asset lives on blockchain um, a Sharia question to all, or is this a technology neutral? Meaning that uh, is the technology underlying technology neutral? What are the Sharia ruling around it?
Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Uh, as far as the technology is concerned, the technology of tokenization, what has been the input of tokenization technology in the Sharia compliance of the tokenization. So actually, we should understand that technology is neutral, and it is like a knife. Whether you cut an apple with it, or a person can do a murder as well. So technology is basically neutral. Same is with the arms and all these technologies applied. So it's more about the application of these technologies. So this technology doesn't make that halal and doesn't make that haram. It is actually, first of all, the contract, the four basic pillars of the contract that has been discussed in any contract, whether it's just like a barter system, a person is giving something against something. So the price should be clear, it should be fixed, it should be there should be no ambiguity, and the mabi that is being sold should be clear, it should be known to both parties. So etc etc. So the contract requirements are basically important, whether it is applied in a contract which is run through technology, or in a contract which is not run through technology. So actually, it is more about the contract than technology. Yes, technology, what it does sometimes, actually, it enables the transparency. It has a great impact about speed. So all these things are add-ons, but actually the Sharia compliance doesn't depend on the speed. It depends on the four basic pillars of the contract. If these are correct, then actually use of technology uh, may be correct as well.
And Sheikh, just a quick answer. What are those four? What are four pillars?
Okay, so when we talk about the four pillars of the contract, actually we talk about the maqood bihi, which actually through which we do the contract, which is the price, and for what actually the contract is intended for, that is the in Arabic we say it mabi'. Actually, what I am trying to get, which is in ijara, for example, it is a service. In a sale contract, it is a something tangible that I'm going to buy. And third is the parties. If the parties are sane, parties are legitimate to do the contract, and the conditions. If there are some invalid conditions set by the legitimate parties, the contract becomes invalid, the contract becomes unlawful due to these conditions. So actually these four pillars should be correct in any contract, whether it is run through some technology or without any technology. Fahad bhai, I cannot listen to your voice.
My apologies. So my second question would be, Sheikh, that there is a saying or maxim that consideration in contract is for intent and meaning, not words and form. How does someone know that? How does that apply when we simply call something a token?
Actually, first we need to understand this maxim. and this maxim is applied in Islamic finance, and not only in Islamic finance, on all the contracts, the verbal discussions as well. So it's more about the family contracts, the nikah, talaq, etc., etc., the application. So what does it mean actually? Al-ibratu lil ma'ani la lil mabani, which actually means that there are some words which are intended for some kind of transaction. So there are sub chapters in the core chapters of the Islamic law of contract, which actually tells about which word is suitable for which kind of contract. So the summary of this maxim is actually Islam and the Sharia, the rule of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. It focuses on the intentions as well. So the ma'ani, the underlying meaning of the words, the understood meaning of these words in the culture, in the norm of the market is also important. It is not only about the explicit words that are being used in the transaction. So actually we cannot say that words are not important, and similarly we cannot say the intentions, the underlying meanings are not important. Both are important, but actually this maxim tells us about the underlying meanings are also important. So we should not only focus on the words, we focus on the underlying intentions as well. Now, what is the application on tokenization? Again, I think it has some great new kind of application on smart contracts, because the language of a smart contract may be a bit different from the conventional contract. So, however, when we talk about tokenization, actually we need to ensure that the wordings that is being used in the smart contract, in the tokenization contract, should be compliant as well as the underlying meanings. So for example, if a person is going to do some tokenization, but he through these apparent tech-based contract, he is intending some impermissible thing, or he is going to attain something impermissible. In that case, the whole contract, the whole process is not compliant. So the wordings of the contract, whether it is a smart contract or a conventional contract, should be compliant, as well as the underlying meaning and the underlying intentions of the contract.
Awesome. And good news. Today I learned how to launch a phone. So I'm going to turn on the phone now and we'll continue to the question. Sorry guys. So there's a poll which I was just presenting you guys. So whenever you have time, have a look, and then inshallah we'll come back to the poll and move. Sheikh, what has to be true for a token to even count as a mal, meaning like recognized property, like token, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that? We understand that there's a vague asset backing behind it. We don't know. So, but for a token to be counted as recognized property as per the basics of fundamental Islamic law principle, how can I know that the token is a real property?
Yes, I think this is a technical debate about the compliance of the cryptocurrencies as well. That are we able to consider anything which is non-tangible as mal or not? So when we go into the classical books and find out the meanings of the word mal, actually it has been written in some books, like if I'm not mistaken, in Badayu Sanai, that it talks about that people have mal is something which actually desirable to people. Ma yamilu ilayhi al-qulub. And the second definition is people want to stock that in to themselves. People want to have it. So it is about tamavvul as well. However, when we talk about the checklist, so the first checklist is actually the it is about ihraz as well. And it is very similar to how the economists talk about the money. So it's about the medium of exchange, which is being used for some kind of exchange, and it is about the store of value, that people are using it for storing the value, for storing the amount, the value of the money they have. So these are the basic conditions of mal. So when we talk about tokenization actually, and these tokens are backed by the real world assets, these tokens has the maliyat, the tamawul of the assets they are representing. So, for example, if a token is backed by a real estate, then actually the power it has is the maliyat is actually equal to what real estate has. So it is nothing but an undivided share and fractionalized part of it, if it is backed by a real world asset. Similarly, if it is backed by a joint stock company, or it is backed by a small medium enterprise, or it is backed by a pool of assets. In all these cases, actually, the maliyat of the token is derived from all these assets. So, if all these assets are considered as mal, then the token itself is also should also be considered as mal.
Okay. So just to summarize that, if we apply that mal concept or property concept in token, meaning that given exclusive control through a private key where the token holder can access their token, can satisfy the constructive possession. That means that, okay, a Mabrook or a like platform does not have a control. The private keys to access the vault is with the investor or the owner of the token. So that is satisfied. Then the token must confer a genuine right or utility, means that the token should have a embedded rights of that user or investor who is holding that token. For example, if the token is backed by an asset, then okay, my title on the title deed is verifiable using token. Then the access to those attributes or the assets which we have promised to the customer, and then claim of those token to be liquidated, and then it's tying up with the underlying asset. That right should be also allowed to those users or the investor. Then we can comfortably say that, okay, yes, that's a mal, that's like a property as per the Islamic finance. If not, then it will fail the test. So thank you for that. I think that's a very important concept. I'll continue. Why does rule of fiqh Mamalat developed over centuries still govern something as a new digital asset? Don't you think, Sheikh, that those are old methodology and fundamentals and digital assets were not there when fiqh Mamalat was prescribed? How does it align with the modern landscape? And if you can also give like a quick one-liner summary of what is fiqh Mamalat for a couple of people like me who don't understand it.
Okay, so actually, muamalat is the transactions we do. Okay, and the fiqh al muamalat means the understanding and the rulings of Sharia related to these kind of transactions. So, what is amazing about the Sharia and the fiqh is that the flexibility it has to be applied from 1400, since 1400 years till now and till the day of judgment. And it is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has simply chosen this Quran and Hadith and the rules that are being derived from these two to be applied till the day of judgment. So it's not about that we are using rockets, we are using drones, we are using blockchain. Maybe in the coming days, quantum technology and what is going to come in the near future is maybe not known to us. But actually, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala knows what technologies are going to come and how they are going to impact. The rulings that are being derived from the sayings of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and from the verses of Quran are so I should use the word, are so comprehensive that they are able to address the challenges of these eras. So we can take some examples. So actually, that is why Islam does not talk about the technology, but whether a technology is halal or haram. It talks about the application of the technology, the use cases of the technology, and let's say the contracts. So contract are there since the barter system, when people were going to trade dates against gold and gold against silver, till today, like we are going to trade tokens of backed by gold and tokens backed by dates. So and we are using our smartphones. Maybe in the after 100 years we are going to do the same thing on some holographic screens or what. So actually, fiqh al-muamalat and the rulings that are derived from Quran and Hadith are so comprehensive that they are going that it has actually no expiry date till the day of judgment. So the rules are fundamental, the rules are foundational, and they are so comprehensive and strong that they can be applied to any case. However, the application may be different, and actually we need to address, and we need to, it is the rule, it is the responsibility of the fuqaha, the scholars, to explain the application of the rules, how it applies to something new. So for example, what is happening in metaverse and what is going to happen in that verse is something new. So it is the responsibility of scholars to explain how the rules are applied to it. And for example, as you told, the checklist of mal and being an asset. So it, and the application is the explaining the application is the responsibility of fuqaha. So the fiqh al-muamalat actually govern digital assets, and it is going to govern all kind of assets.
Perfect. And the poll results are there. So 32% of the folks,
Okay,
yeah,
let's see the
yeah.
results.
So
Okay.
tokenization and cryptocurrency are the same thing. That's a misconception, and I'm glad, alhamdulillah, we are addressing it. Of course, the what we discussed today is very important. That the underlying asset of that token, the Sharia governance of it, the property rights of an investor on it, right, and the continuous governance, those should be out there. If they are not there, then the test will. It's as simple as that. So, alhamdulillah, that's a good one. I'm glad, and this that's the idea of this webinar series, to kind of tackle those burning questions. So I just stopped sharing the poll. Shiv, the next question I have is regarding the stable coin. So a lot of people like me also, we think that okay, USDC stable coin or any stable coin which is backed by some currency, it's halal. And those many sorry, stable coin are also doing giving some yield. I know people here on the call are more learned than me, and they will say no, Fahad, the Genius Act, which was passed in September last year by USA. The debate is still going on whether the stable coin can give a yield or not. Most likely, it will not. So it's a very clean version of the currency. But my question is that those products out there which are everywhere, where exactly is the river line for an ordinary investor? I'm an investor. I want to buy this. Where the river line is drawn? The question would be that okay, what is the legal relationship when I hand over my coins? Is the right? And the another angle would be that um, what is the principle? So the second question would be where does the return is coming from? And if I don't ask this question, then how would I know that this is like something which I could buy?
I think you answered partially about the question in the last two points. That actually every investor should know the definition of riba, and whenever there is a loan contract and exchange of monetary assets, and there is an unjustified addition in it. So we are not talking about the sale contract, it is about the loan contract, and in that loan contract it is happening. So when we talk about stable coins, actually when these stable coins pegged by a dollar or a dirham or real or any currency, that stable coin is actually representing the same dollar. So it is just like you are giving loan in dollars to a person with an additional amount. It has to be given after a certain period of time. That means that it is riba. Similarly, when I am going to give my stable coins to someone and in a loan contract, and he's going to guarantee me the return on it, is that becomes riba again. So when these coins are representing the currency, the actual currency, then the ruling that is applied on the real currency is replicated on these stable coins. So in any loan contract, any additional guaranteed return is haram. However, when they are going to do some kind of trade like sale contract, they are going to buy some bottles and they are going to sell the same bottle for some additional return or additional amount. It is murabaha and it is allowed. No problem in that. So that is why the questions are important, that you said that when any platform on stable coins is promising a return, in some cases guaranteed return, we need to ask these questions, that from where this return is coming from. Because if it is again a loan, I would like to add one point, that when we say a loan contract and a guaranteed return, both are same. Because in a loan contract, the principal is secured and principal is guaranteed, where my principal is going to nowhere. For example, if I had a transaction in gold and I gave my 1 tola of gold, 1 kg of gold to someone, and the price of that gold is increased or decreased, I don't know. I am going to get my 1 tola of gold in return, because that was a loan contract. However, if it was an investment contract, actually the investment may yield some, I have some share in the return. It may be a muzaraba contract or a musharaka contract. So it is different. It's not guaranteed. So riba can be applied. Riba do exist in these transactions, in the stable coin transactions.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I'll just move to the last question, and it's a very blunt question. If somebody says,
Fahad bhai, am I audible to you?
yes, you are, but your voice was breaking. But maybe we can turn off the camera, because I think your internet is, I can see Zoom is saying there's a low bandwidth. Maybe you can turn off your camera and we can try. Now
Okay.
I think it's good now. Okay. So Bismillah. So the other question we
Okay.
have is that when someone says if it's a crypto, it cannot be halal, how would you react to that person?
Sorry, which what is not halal?
So if somebody says that crypto, if it is crypto, then it cannot be halal. How would you respond to that argument?
I would like to tell him that please learn something more about crypto and tokenization. And the word crypto actually does not mean the cryptocurrency only, and it is not equal to Bitcoin. It is not equal to all these meme coins or utility coins. uh, Crypto actually, the cryptography, the crypto technology, the encryption of messages, like data goes from one WhatsApp to another WhatsApp. So crypto is not just the word crypto is haram. So it's not about the word again. We need to understand it is about the contract. So let's say if he is talking about cryptocurrency and he's talking about the investment in cryptocurrency, then that is a different discussion, because actually in cryptocurrency we need to discuss about the legality of the crypto currency and the application of it and the approval by any legitimate authority. However, if it is not a currency, it is about the process, then actually we cannot use this general umbrella term that if it is this, then it is this. So in order to, in simple words, in order for a token to become haram, it has to have a checklist, let's say 5-6 points, and if any of these points is not being met, then actually a token may be haram, and similarly a coin may be haram. So these points are important. It is not so simple as this sentence that if this is crypto, then it is haram.
And I think I do it more often. So to summarize, you're saying that crypto itself is not one form. It has many forms and various methods can be applied. As you give a right example, that's a knife, right? You can cut food and cook something and give it to somebody, or you can just stab somebody, hurt them. Um, so for example, in Mabrook, yeah. So for example, in Mabrook, a tokenized crypto an equity like security token, maybe a utility token down the road. Um, uh, that if they follow the IP alignment or the Islamic fundamentals, then fine. But somebody has to go and check those, right? And for those checks, we need to have a good awareness, meaning that we need to ask as a critic that is there any speculation component? If yes, then how you're dealing with it? Is there any hidden leverage? Is there any counterparties that is not visible, right? Where the yield is coming from, as you rightly say. So those are the classical questions we can ask and get some ideas. And if there's a red flag, we would know. So inshallah, I think that's it. Our Q&A have been concluded. So I see there are a couple of questions to type, and then one of the brother Yusuf wants to talk. So brother Yusuf, go ahead, ask your question, inshallah. Brother Yusuf, you can unmute yourself and ask question. Okay, give you 5 seconds, inshallah. Okay, I think, right, so I'll just move to the Q&A we have on the type. So Hakeem Khalid said that voice of Dr. Mufti Umar is good, but mine is bad. I'm so sorry, brother, for that. Inshallah, we'll try to join the webinar earlier and then fix it, inshallah. Yusuf Suleiman Muhammad have a question. Okay, so this is the same brother who has raised hands. Yusuf, are you there? So my name is Yusuf Suleiman. Yeah, so the question is that, Sheikh, my name is Yusuf Suleiman Muhammad from Nigeria, and the question is that how can we identify halal token when we invest in it? We are using different, and I think he's saying that he's using different exchanges wallets to buy or sell. So he's doing trading and buying tokens. How he would identify those halal token? I think you covered it. Maybe if you want to do a quick recap in a minute.
I think the easier part for the customers is actually to see to check for a authentic Sharia board that focuses on the Sharia compliance and takes the responsibility for checking the compliance. So because for each and every customer, however, every customer should be vigilant enough and very cautious enough to ask these questions that if this is a token, is it backed by real world asset, which kind of asset is backing the tokens, if the tokens are have a governance system, what is that system, what are the rules set for the system. I think the customers and consumers or the investors actually should ask about the venues where their amount is going to be invested. So the shorter answer is there any Sharia board that is taking the responsibility of the system? And even after the Sharia being a Sharia board, I think the investor should have some questions to ask from the system, so that the checks are followed, and the compliance of the system is ensured.
Thank you, sir. The other question is from Leah Rahman. Um, the question is that thanks for the webinar presentation. Can you provide some resources that we can read more on this subject, research paper or book or something else? So I think yes, we will circulate you the presentation, Leah. They just follow this webinar series, and then we'll try to point you some other assets. And if maybe this is a request, a takeaway, maybe we need to create some assets, right? Some checklists and all that, some basic things which is IoT aligned for our listeners to basically go ahead and then use those checklists. So yes, Sister Leah, we'll get back to you on this one. Uh, Jamil Abbas, I see one hand raised, so I will just go to Kaser. Kaser, do you want to ask your question? Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Kaser, can you hear us? Kaser Bilal.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir, for this more comprehensive webinar. It's a very informative. I thanks all of you. My short question is, I'm living in Pakistan. So in Pakistan, there is different sort of school of thought regarding the cryptocurrencies. Some says it is totally restricted, impermissible as per Sharia, and some says it is actually permissible, and some says that it is some have a partial opinion, like that if it will be permissible if it follow the following or some of the condition on that. But how we will come to know whether being a citizen of Pakistan, is there any sort of a regulatory authority in Pakistan exist that gave us somehow the ruling about the permissibility or impermissibility of that? So I need guidance regarding it, please.
Should I answer, Fahad bhai?
Please go ahead. Yes, of course.
Acha, actually, Kaisar bhai, it's not only about Pakistan. It is the scenario in Pakistan is actually almost the same in all over the world. So, as far as the regulatory authorities are concerned, majority of the regulatory authorities have not considered this to be a regulated currency. That is, so there are difference of opinion all over the world. Our focus in the webinars is not actually cryptocurrency. It is more about tokenization of real world assets. So for the crypto, actually, yes, there is no regulated cryptocurrency. One. Two, yes, as far as the virtual assets regulatory authority is concerned, it is there. PVARA, it is named as PVARA, and it was set by the ministries about the virtual assets, and the organizations or the enablers of the system who are going to give these kind of services, they are also allowed to open bank accounts in the Islamic banks or in the conventional banks. However, actually there is no single opinion about it till now, and however our focus is about the tokenization, and it is not actually about the cryptocurrency in the webinar. I hope that suffices the answer.
Yeah. So for me, like my personal choice would be Bilal bhai would be that I would vouch for anything which is asset backed, right? Because in a traditional capital market also, forget about the cryptocurrency. What is the major problem today? That the capital market is so bad, it is creating debt over debt. There is no asset backup. So that's my personal 101 formula. Are you asset back? Right? At least that's something, that's a North Star to chase. Jazakallah for your question. The other question is from Brother Jamil Abbas. For a real world asset token to be considered as halal token, must that token be recognized and approved by the government where RWA reside? Here, can I answer this question because I've
Yes,
dealt
please.
with so many lawyers, so I can. So yes, Brother Jamil. See, in Islamic finance, one of the misconceptions is that Sharia Islam does not compel you or point you towards the local law of the land. We have to follow the local law of the land. That's like a Sharia 101. We cannot just simply avoid it. If we avoid it, and I tell Dr. Muslimer that I am in a breach of Canadian compliance, he will say, you know what, this project is rejected. Thank you very much. As simple as that. So the lawyer has to be review it. The regulator has to review it. They have to approve it. Until the issuance of the token is not approved, you cannot simply roll out that token or over the blockchain. As simple as the answer is that. Thank you very much for that. Whether we follow or not, that's something you guys have to ask any platform owner, right? All right. The next question is from Shahid Abdullah Mustafa. Thanks for the webinar. My question is, what is the difference between crypto and halal tokenization? How does tokenization work? Why is that halal? How a Muslim can benefit from
So basically, there are three questions,
it? Yeah.
or I think four. So uh, the difference, actually, crypto means normally the cryptocurrencies. So halal tokenization, when we talk about halal tokenization, we are not talking about a currency. And when we talk about halal tokenization, it is always backed by a real world asset. And when we talk about halal tokenization, it is backed by an halal asset, and it follows the rules of the contracts, etc. So when you talk about the crypto space, there are hundreds, I'm not sure about thousands of kind of cryptocurrencies and names and based on different kind of systems. So these are the fundamental differences. It works through the transparency ensured through blockchain, and the working process is a bit detailed. It has some steps. From an investor's perspective, actually, when he buys a token, he actually gets an ownership in that real world asset that is on the back of the tokens, and he can sell it in the secondary market. He can buy more in the primary market, etc. It is halal because it follows the rules of halal. Actually, it is not halal because it is named as halal tokenization. Because it follows the rules. So, like as we discussed in the earlier part of the webinar, that if it follows the rules of contract, Islamic law of contract, it follows the permissibility criteria of an asset. It follows the rules that are set by the government or the local authority, then it is going to be halal, unless it will not be halal if it doesn't follow all these points. How can a Muslim benefit from it? Actually, he can buy it, and the appreciation amount, if the demand goes up, the value, the market value of that may go up as well. Then he can sell it in the secondary market and earn benefit on it, or he can have it for a longer period of time as well. Fahad, I answered these short questions correctly or not?
Yes, Alhamdulillah. And then one of the thing, how it can benefit Muslim is that, our cousins, the other community, what they do is that they invest money in a small medium enterprise, and they make sure the money at minimum revolves into and change seven hands, right, in the ecosystem. So tokenization is a very good place where we can put our project. It does not have to be like big resort projects. It can be like, I want to open a small shop or I want to do microfinance, right? And I can give a good yield and I can do my business in halal where my dealing will be very good. I want profit to my investor. This is where platform like Mabrook comes in. That Muslim invest in Muslim businesses, so we create like a halal ecosystem for us. Um, so thank you, brother Khalid, for this answer again, and sorry, question again. Uh, what? So sorry, my apologies. So the other question is from Khalid Iqbal. What about some encouraging example of tokenization, and how can this uh, become a successful model for other business that allow public or a layman to become the investor, basically a retail investor, and benefit from purchasing partial asset, and why it is still limited to common people to fulfill the demands of Maqasid Sharia, adopting this innovative product except those who are already well off. So it's a very good question. Maybe Steve, if you allow me, I will answer the first half,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Um, so the encouraging example, and this is where we got fresh license. Recently, we got approved by Government of Canada and El Salvador, the regulator, not the government, the regulators. And Alhamdulillah, we will be rolling out some exciting projects which will follow. Inshallah, we'll try our level best to follow all Sharia principles and be very transparent. And we will be starting at Mabrook level at least with the $100 or $50, right? So people can come and they can invest using that. And again, I'm not doing any investment advisory here because I'm promoting my group or asking you to invest. What I'm saying that the example is that earlier, take an example of Sukuk. When I was in Dubai Islamic Bank, the minimum size we had for the Sukuk investor was 250,000 somewhere, 200 to $250,000 at minimum, if not a half a million or a million, right? So these were not retail oriented products, but inshallah we can start SME, small medium enterprise, which is just very close to my heart. Those kind of the projects, they can come and then people can invest using $50, $100, whatever they have, inshallah, and we bring that ecosystem up, right? With Nafa. The second question, Sheikh, is that and why it is still limited to the common people to fill the demands of Makati to Sharia adopting this innovative product. So can you answer this question, please? The second half.
I mean, I'm trying to understand the question. It talks about that why it is limited to common people adopting this innovative product, except those who are already well off.
Let me see if Brother Khalid can chime in. Brother Khalid, do you want to open up your camera and then uh, ask the second question? I will give you 5 seconds. Maybe you can come.
Walaikum
Go ahead.
assalam.
Walaikum
Yeah,
assalam, Brother Khalid.
thank you so much for inviting me. I mean, it's more that people talk about this is benefiting under the Maqasid Sharia. I mean, it's when it comes to Islamic banking, right, or Islamic fintech. So I was thinking, it is indeed difficult, even at the present. It is not easy to access the fintech, especially when it comes to tokenization. I'm not sure about what's happening in Pakistan and other countries. I mean, I heard a little bit through Mabrook product uh, about the different kind of tokenization system. But I don't know how it is successful. I mean, how it's benefiting to the common people and how it is accessible for the common people under the Maqasid Sharia.
I think it's a very beautiful question, sir.
Fahad bhai, are you answering
No,
the
no, go
question?
ahead. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. So actually, when you talk about Maqasid Sharia, Brother Khalid, I think actually when it is going to help the poor people, one, it is going to encourage the entrepreneurship in the Muslim people too, and even it is also for the non-Muslim poor people. It's because the all the financial success of the system is not only for Muslim poor people, it's about the non-Muslim poor people as well. However, so when it is going to happen, it will fulfill the maqasid sharia, especially hifzul mal, and it is going to fulfill the even the some SDGs as well. So as far as the government people are concerned and how it is benefiting them, till now I think I don't know any government authority have issued any kind of tokenization tokens in even all over the world. So I'm not sure how they are going to do that, because they are more in the, let's say, as the conventional banking system is working through the debt system. So however, because the system is going to help the masses, and through that actually it is going to fulfill the maqasid sharia.
I
All
think
right. Thank you.
yeah, and I think Khalid, the projects like impact financing, projects like work, right? Those have to also brought into the spotlight. The problem is that I get what you're saying, that things are mushroom, like people are doing here and there, but there is no joint ecosystem which can ensure that the impact happens at the grassroots level. Like example, Akhwat Brotherhood Financing in Lahore, Dr. Ramjat, you can go ahead and right there you can see there is an impact happening, right? You can interview two people, they will tell you they are so happy. So inshallah, that's the plan. And Mabrook, inshallah, once comment, Mabrook is for everybody. We will ask everybody to inshallah participate, help us improve, so we grow together. And we are trying to put like that regulated rail that you just asked. Inshallah, we are trying, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best judge, I would say, and
Inshallah.
he's the best guy.
Inshallah.
He's the best of the guys. So we ask that guidance, inshallah, and that's the plan, inshallah. We'll
But
invite,
Fahad, if you see
inshallah.
the difference between the currency level, I mean, talking about the Canadian currency and the Pakistani currency and the type of people affordability. So it is not very much easy if it comes to Pakistan, or if something is happening in Pakistan under a tokenization system. Either is a real asset. I mean, normally it's a real asset, but again, there's a confusion in the real asset whether it's workable or not. So and regulatory issues are there. I mean, still there are a lot of things that need to be done. So I mean, still I'm seeing that this is a lovely product. Tokenization is a lovely product for everyone, but it's not happening the way it should happen.
Yes, 100%. And I was in US 2 weeks back in New York in IFM, and I was one of the speaker, alhamdulillah, on tokenization. And I was just talking, and then I realized that I've been calling Mabrook as a IOP compliant platform. That itself is a wrong statement, because
Mhm.
we can there is no tokenization standard. Tell me, go to the 63 standard or IOP and find the tokenization standard. And Dr. Umar is right that we have to have Sharia alignment. So we can say that we are IOP aligned. Okay, how you are IOP aligned? That here's my product structure. Why don't I put that structure on the platform? And B, you are absolutely right that regulator like Bivara, because one of the things we are doing in Pakistan in Mabrook, that I'm in very close contact with the regulator via my contacts. Those are evolving things in Pakistan. But Alhamdulillah, Mabrook is the first fintech ever in the world, Alhamdulillah. And this is not us, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We got the El Salvadorian license. El Salvador is very, very mature landscape. They were the first country to make Bitcoin as a legal tender, right, in the world. And they got really crazy, and they have now Bitcoin City. They are building that. So we are in a territory where we have demonstrated them our platform, and it took us like 3 years just to get that license. When we hit the ground, this is where I'm thinking that we need to have a like create digital tools, right? Promote that, how we did it, uh, share our ideas, share what we did in El Salvador, how we set up those SPV, how those legal structuring have been worked, how we are, for example, if there's a tokenization of a house and the property is rental, somebody rented it, but the renter is saying that I'm not going to exit the house, but I'm not paying you the rent also. How are we going to deal those, right? So we are, inshallah, we will try to learn ourselves, adjust it under the law, and we will also promote it, inshallah. All right.
Inshallah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jazakallah. Okay, I think the last two questions were from like where the webinar videos will be shared. So it will be on the Mabrook YouTube channel. If you don't know the YouTube channel, just go to YouTube and type Mabrook token, right? And then you will see a Mabrook page. Remember, there is nothing like Mabrook token. It's just the search thing, right? There is nothing like a Mabrook token which exists. It's just like this is how YouTube sees it. And we will also circulate the link on the group, which I already did, and the email and the presentation, inshallah, will share it. All right. Uh, I think I don't see any open question, Sheikh, and everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Inshallah, see you next week. Keep those questions coming, because see, we have to ask those burning questions, and it's okay if you don't have a proper answer, but we have to record those digital assets so everybody can benefit. The idea is that we have to align on the right way to do things, right? If it is not right way, at least try to start follow the right way, and inshallah will someday inshallah we'll achieve what we want to achieve and start the next doing halal things and make our dealing halal and as well as earn halal, inshallah. All right. With that, inshallah, I will conclude the webinar. Thank you very much. Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.